Hey, I'm Dr. Kamakshaya. I'm your instructor for Excel VBA. In this video, I'm going to show you how to perform summary statistics. Summary statistics means uh, a couple of a set of statistical measures which summarizes a data variable. So, what do you mean variable? That which varies is a variable. Usually in Excel, any data range is referred to variable. So, how are you going to start the Excel? Just press the window button in PC, use Excel, and then enter. You will be taken to the Excel. Open the workbook, and I am in the first worksheet. So here I am just going to explain you how to fill a range with the help of random numbers. That is first one, and next I will demonstrate or explain you how to calculate summary statistics. So if you don't have idea on summary statistics, it's very easy. You just have to go to the browser and search for summary statistics. So in statistics, there are three types of statistics: univariate statistics, bivariate statistics, and multivariate statistics. When we calculate a couple of statistical measures on a univariate statistic, one single variable, it is called summary statistics. There are different approaches to talk about the summary statistics. We call Big 5, Big 7, Big 9, something like that. So that we will discuss later. Usually Big 5 refers to average, arithmetic average, standard deviation, minimum, maximum, okay, and median. So these are the Big 5. And if you add kurtosis, skewness, it is called Big 7, and we'll keep adding on and on, like Q2, Q4, Big 9, something like that. So if you're not able to follow what I'm talking, you need to have an introductory course on statistics. But in this demonstration, I'm just carrying on, assuming that you know fundamentals of statistics. Okay, so what are the summary statistics? You can just go to Wikipedia. There's nothing wrong. Wikipedia is an open source knowledge management platform. You can blenchlessly you can use it, read. Okay, so what does it speak here? So in descriptive statistics, yes, it is a branch of statistics called descriptive statistics, predictive, prescriptive, something like that. In descriptive statistics, summary statistics refers to arithmetic mean and standard deviation or absolute deviation or variance or whatever it is. Skewness, kurtosis, and statistical dependence called correlation coefficient, but it is not as such. I can accept arithmetic mean, standard deviation, some extent skewness, kurtosis, and median. So that are called Big 5. So what is this Big 5? It's a relatively new, easy way to explain summary statistics. Okay, in Excel, so let me take a normal deviation. I call it as variable or var, whatever it is, 1, 2, okay, 1. I'm going to use a particular calculation called is equal to 1 plus 1, so that when I select both of the cells and go down to 11, control D, sorry, so go down to 11, control D, it fills automatically. These are the shortcut buttons. In my previous video, actually I've shown you how to drag it down using that little square button right bottom of a cell, highlighted cell or active cell. So this is active cell. Here there is a small square button right bottom of a cell. If you drag it, it just selects. So here, so when you use Control D, I also explained how to use Control D in my previous video. So I used Control D and a formula here. If you see the previous cell value plus 1, so my previous cell value is 1 and plus 1 it's going to be 2. That calculation will be continued down. I can just go down further. Control D, it will just carry on. I don't want to do that. I just want 10 values. So anybody of you can just assume what is the arithmetic average. It is 5.5. That is the central value. Okay, By the way, you also need to have some idea about the normal distribution, where we explain a normal distribution with the help of two important parameters. They are the location, center, which is defined by arithmetic average or simple mean, and dispersion, which is represented by standard variance, variability, or deviation, something like that. These are the very first and foremost descriptors of a normal distribution. This is a normal distribution. 1 to 10 is a normal distribution. Since we don't find any abnormality, for instance, if I replace 6 with 60, now it is not normal, something abnormal, right? So this is a normal distribution, and the arithmetic mean must be the central, the pakka central value, right? What is the center of this distribution? It's going to be 5.5. And what is the standard deviation? It should be close to 1. Okay, let's see. So what I do is I right click. I'm using shortcut buttons, function, right click. I have a right click button here in my keyboard. So go down, insert a column to the left, and now I'm going to write the name of the statistic, summary statistics. Okay, I call mean, or you can call average, doesn't matter. So in my previous video, in one of the videos, I have shown you how to calculate arithmetic mean using a function called average. So this is a function. I can type the function because I know that there is a function called average which calculates arithmetic average and gives me back the mean, simple mean. If you're not sure, you can make use of this function button. See upper, see here right, left, upper, just adjacent to formula input. This place, like here. This is actually input, text input cell. Here, if you press this function fx button, it will open all those categories of functions. Okay, I don't want to. So always it is try to remember the functions and use. So average, I use tab button to autofill it. Upper arrow, shift. You can control shift will take you quickly to the uppermost part of it. I don't want to include the name of the data variable, okay, and close the parenthesis. See here, I'm seeing the way it is going on when I'm selecting, moving up, moving down. So this is the whole formula, or maybe a function is equal to average and the cell range. So B2 to B11 has the data, that is address of the range, and I just have to input the range to that function. This function accepts a range as a argument. Okay, this is actually a default function. So we can also write our own functions. That's a different thing. Now when I press enter, that is, as I said, average is 5.5. Now how am I going to standard deviation? Standard underscore deviation. Okay, for that STD. Okay, STD, standard deviation for population, standard deviation for sample, and standard deviation. So there is one default function, standard deviation. There is a description here. This function is available for compatible with Excel to the 2007. Even if you have Excel 2007, it is actually not 2007. It is 2017. I don't know. You just have to go. So 2007 it works, but rest of the functions will not work in latest. So when you press tab button, it autofills. Now let me go up. I don't want to include 5.5. That is actually a statistical measure. Okay, statistic of the distribution. So control shift, upper arrow, close the parenthesis, enter. So that is 3.02. Sorry, I said 1. It's not 1 actually. Standard deviation with a mean 5.5. The location is 3.02. That's okay. That is standard deviation. So don't ask me what it is actually. You just have to go online and see. If you want to know standard deviation, maybe no, I can even explain you the formulas, but this is not the time. So what is arithmetic mean? Okay, it is the sum of the values divided by number of values. Wikipedia or Wikipedia, whatever it is. Okay, arithmetic mean. So this is actually the sum of the values. This is the formula for arithmetic mean. Sum of the values divided by number of values. Now what is standard deviation? Let's go down. I think you should be having a reference to standard deviation. Yeah, standard deviation. Now what is the formula for standard deviation? So it is referred with sigma and which is calculated on another measure called variance, which is sigma squared. Now for sigma, what we first calculate the variance, and the square root of that variance is standard deviation. Here the variance of these values 2, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 7, 9 is 4, and the standard deviation, we are standardizing a deviation with square root, and it is going to be 2. So the standard deviation, these values are standardly deviating from each other by a value of 2, something like that. Okay, you just go and read. Okay, mu is, sum of the values divided by 8. There are 8 values, that is fine. Standard deviation is 2, but variance is 4. Okay, these are all. Variability is actually the deviation from the mean. So if you look at here, we are subtracting mean from each value. So what is the mean? 5. So 2 minus 5 whole square plus 4 minus 5. See here, whole square plus 4 minus 5 whole square, 4 minus 5 whole square, blah 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 blah. So go on and on until you finish all the numbers in the series, number series, or the numerical distribution. So these are the values: 9 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus. This is standard deviation. So the variance is 4. When you square root it, it is. We can also do it manually in Excel, but it will take time. So instead of doing it manually, we can just. That is actually the value of functions. Okay, we don't need to. We want the tool to help us. It is what is called productivity. Instead of doing it manually, I can do it on paper. Why do I need Excel? I want to use Excel in order to achieve the productivity. I need to be an efficient user of a tool. So if I am an efficient user of a tool, I should use a function which is already created by somebody. And if that function is not there, I can create, because I am a VBA programmer, I can write my own function and make it available inside. So this is standard deviation. The other thing I was talking about, the median. Median is a value that which divides a distribution into 2 equal parts. We also call it as the 50th percentile. So if you don't know what is median, you can just go to Wikipedia, just enough. You don't need a costly textbook. So median, you read what is median. It is a 50th percentile of the numerical data. So if this is it is nothing but it should be, for a normal distribution, median is equal to mean, is equal to mode, the third central value. There are 3 central values: mean, median, mode. These are called measures of central tendency. Okay, so this is actually the part of a separate discussion called statistics. So here unimodal distribution and all, we measure median, we count the median for assessing the normality of a distribution. That's a different thing. There are different formulas for medians. It is a basic statistics course. Median for discrete data, median for continuous data, something like that. So here, when we calculate median in Excel, we have a function called median. You see, tab, and then go to 5.5. As I said, it is a normal distribution. Median is equal to mean. 5.5 is the number which divides this distribution into 2 equal halves. So 50 percentile one part, the 50 percentile another part, something like that. Now I said the maximum value of this distribution. Again, you got a function called maximum, max, and then select. I'm using Control Shift. Okay, and close the parenthesis. This is the maximum value. 10 is the maximum value. Minimum value, obviously it should be 1, right? Min, that is a function which we use for minimum value, and then enter. There is a minimum value, maximum value. Now I'll go 2 more values. That is kurtosis. We got I write it as kurtosis here. Kurtosis. By the way, what is kurtosis? Kurtosis is a measure that speaks about the peak and flat properties of a numerical distribution. Okay, and there is another measure I'll tell you. So now I want to find the kurtosis for this numerical. So it is minus 1.2, which means it is flat. It's flat, very flat. 0 is normal distribution, minus flat, plus peak. So it goes like that. Flat, just And now skewness, which means right skewed, left skewed, normal. Normal means skewness should be 0. So if it is left skewed, actually I'm sorry to say that, kurtosis we need to detect, sometimes we do, in Excel we don't need to do. Anyway, so there's a different discussion. Skewness, so what is skewness? There is a function called skew, okay, and then what are the values? These are the values. That's 0, Pakka normal distribution, that's okay, fine. But kurtosis, it is flat, it's not peak. So if you have a big distribution with a lot of gigantic values in your numerical, in your number series, then it will be peak. Or maybe you have your range is very less, short range, but you have maximum number of values, it will be peak. But we have very few values, okay, that's why it is flat. That is kurtosis, right? You can just go online and what is kurtosis, the key. Read what is kurtosis. Okay. So here you will find some. This is kurtosis. It is a fourth moment of standardized moment of a distribution, numerical distribution. Skewness is the third moment. It's all about statistics. You need. If you are not able to follow my lecture, just don't mind. You need a couple of classes in basics of statistics. See, this is what I'm talking. So this is peak. Okay. See here, you got a peak distribution, flat distributions, something like that for different values of kurtosis. Skewness, we have only 3 scenarios. One is left, right, and then skew means dent. Okay. So this is how we calculate, univariate statistics or summary statistics in Excel. Okay. And one last thing is that I will show you how to do it automatically. This is the distribution, right? And if you go to the menu data, by the way, you have to enable this feature. You have a lot of online videos as how to add this submenu to your main menu of data. So it will not be available default when you install Excel. You just have to go somewhere, and that is out of scope of this video. Data analysis. You see somewhere you will find these are all actually a few statistical techniques available by default under data analysis submenu. So you see you find something descriptive somewhere. See descriptive statistics. Okay. Input range. Where is my range? So my range is this. Okay, fine. And now group by columns. Yes, of course. Not rows. Labels in first row. No, I don't have labels in first row. I can also select the name of the variable. If I select the name of the variable, then I have to select this button, labels in first row. Now where do you want your output? New worksheet ply, new workbook, output range. I will select output range, and I want the outputs here in this cell. And I want summary statistics, confidence levels of the mean, kth largest, kth smallest, it doesn't matter, don't care. Okay, now, okay. You see these are summary statistics. You got all summary statistics of the numerical distribution here. Mode is not available because it's an error of, I'll let you know why it is. Because modal value is the maximum occurring value in a numerical distribution, which is not the fact of this number series right now under study. That's why it's the name. Now what is the mean? 5.5. Standard error is actually standard deviation divided by square root of n, which is out of scope of this lecture. I'm not talking about it. Maybe we'll discuss it later. It's the standard error of the mean. Okay. Now what is median? 5.5. Median and mean are equal. Mode, of course, does not apply to this numerical distribution. It's meaningless. That's why it is NA. Standard deviation 3 is not, it's the same thing, like here we calculate 3.02. Sample variance 9. Yes, square root of variance is standard deviation. You can just come here and square root of variance, that is 3.02, 3.02. That is standard deviation. Okay. Now kurtosis is -1, 2 as usual. It's a flat. Skewness 0. It's a Pakka normal distribution. Range 9, which means 10 minus 1. Maximum minus minimum value. That is 9. minimum, maximum, sum of the values, count of the values 10, confidence level 95%. It is, let us not discuss. This is jet value of the is a normal distribution. The 95% confidence level is 2.16. Okay, 90% is 1.96. Okay, it goes like that. Okay, something that is out of scope, and I'm not talking about confidence level now. So the purpose of this video is to demonstrate very few summary statistics. So whenever you have some numeric data in your Excel sheet, you can use some default functions in order to calculate summary statistics such as arithmetic average, standard deviation, variance, kurtosis, skewness, all everything like this. Hope this video is useful in order to understand summary statistics or descriptive statistics. So thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for the new content. Bye bye for now.